Welcome back, everybody, to HTC Invitational. I'm your host, Nimsh. I'm joined here by my co-host, Monk. How are you doing, man? I believe you're muted, Monk.
Mirror where Hype actually roped out of a win and gave his opponent that win. Fortunately for Hype, though, he was able to take it back in the Handlock versus Grim Patron Warrior, and he actually moves on to the semifinals against Forsen. Kind of an unlikely duel in the semifinals, but one of them will make to the finals and have his first chance to win a tournament.
Oh, yeah. So we already have Forsen and Hyped in the semifinals, but the next match will be Tides of Time versus RDU, and after that, Strifecrew versus Trump. So we are going to have all the matches today, and I want to remind you guys, we are playing HTC Invitational. Round of 16 was yesterday. Today we had 8 players remaining. We're going to play all the matches till the final, with the final included. Players are playing best of 5 matches, single elimination. Whoever wins advances, whoever loses is eliminated in a conquest format. And let's talk about our players. So we have Tides of Time versus RDU. What do we know about those guys?
Yeah, both players, they're kind of like two of the very best players in 2014. Together, they pretty much won like 50% of all the tournaments, especially RDU, who had kind of an insane run in 2014. And 2015, they haven't done nearly as well. But you know what? Tides, he won his first tournament in 2015 recently in the King Win 4 Charity Easter Edition. And RDU, he actually made 2 finals in a row with the Xfinity Hearthstone tournament and the Amazon Blackrock Mountain tournament. So both of these players, although they haven't had that much success in 2015, they've done slightly better more recently in the last month or two.
Oh yeah, both players are excellent. Where Tides of Time is mostly a deck builder. He's bringing specific brews, and for this tournament, he brought a Volcanic Dragon Hunter, Volcanic Dragon Warrior, and a Volcanic Dragon. No, wait, it's a Murloc Warlock. Where
Yes.
RDU is actually bringing some interesting decks as well. He is a fine tuner, but he did bring the Aggro Paladin. What's up with that deck?
Yeah, I want to see that list eventually, but I guess we're gonna see it after the tournament ends. It has some really interesting cards. Two Blessing of Kings, I believe. It has like Coghammer. It has Argent Squire. Just a very
Avenged
interesting
Wrath.
brew. Yeah, even Avenging Wrath, exactly. And we don't even see Consecrate, or rather, we don't even see Equality. There is Consecrate even, so it's not a purely aggro Paladin. It's seemingly aggro slash mid range, but we're getting into the first game, and it's going to be Murloc Warlock. Even with the Grimscale Oracle, oh my god, that card, we never see that card even in Murloc decks.
No, we've seen it sometimes. Like, I personally like the card, but yeah, it is surprising, and he is running that so far. It looks basically like 2 years ago, Hearthstone beta, old times. So it's old school versus new school. It's Warlock Murloc versus Mage.
Oh, what a great draw from Tides Time. Just drawing into all his Murlocs. And you know what? Murloc, Warlock, bet you can't say that 3 times fast, but Murloc, Warlock, it's actually a deck that kind of snowballs pretty well. And you know what? Mage isn't a deck that deals with snowballing decks very well.
Oh
So
man,
this might
power
be
of
one
the
of those
priestess.
opportunities. Yeah, exactly. This might be one of those situations where the snowball from time to time just overtakes the Mage.
Yeah, it's like, how do you return from the situation being a mage after seeing that war leader? Imagine if Soulfire will be for 0 mana. That was the situation 2 years ago. Same situation, but you were Soulfiring that minion. That's why it got nerfed. But still, this board here is amazing anyway. And protecting that war leader is very important. Denying the mech as well.
Yeah, and now RDU is just so confused as to what to do.
Do you think he didn't practice this matchup enough?
Uh, I mean, Nylum is one of those teams that practices the most within the team, but I doubt anyone on Nylum, especially Life Coach, is playing Murloc Warlock.
Like, I can only imagine what's going through RDU's head right now. He's thinking this Warlock deck looks really fishy.
Oh man, how I've missed these jokes. You haven't. That was your first joke today. But
Yeah,
no,
I'm
it was a
getting.
good one. And you know what? This game, I think this game is just over.
Yep, that's it. And we mentioned it yesterday. Murloc deck might seem unstable somehow, and
Oh
sometimes
my god.
with double
Oh
War
my god.
Leader. This is massive. This is it. Right here, right now. Murloc Warlock, Murloc Warlock,
I love
Murloc
how
Warlock.
I love how
Said it's three
yeah, I
times.
love how RDU is still taking notes after this game, and he's like, okay, I lost to the Murloc Warlock deck. Yeah,
I believe you just
that's the
know that
thing.
I got wrecked, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so now the two decks that remain for Tides of Time are the Volcanic Drake decks. What am I even saying? Like, but it's actually true. He's running his own Warrior Brew with Volcanic Drake, with Revenge, I believe, with Corruptor and Chromagus. We are going to see it right now, and Revenge already in his hand. Monk, do you remember what the card does? Because a lot of players, they are not, viewers are not aware what the card is actually doing.
Well, it's a 2-mana card that's basically a whirlwind,
Yeah.
but if you're under 12 health,
15.
I believe it is.
15 or 12?
Okay.
Might be 15.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it's 15 then. If it's 15 or below, if you're at 15 or below health, then the card actually does 2 damage whirlwind effect.
Isn't that 3? I think it's 3
Oh, is it
damage
3?
actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
Sure.
we are even not
Yeah,
sure.
it is 3. Yeah, exactly. It's just a card like nobody plays. When it was first announced, I don't think anyone was like, hey, this is a card that I'm going to be playing all the time in my decks.
Yep, but Tides of Time is actually bringing this card, and we've mentioned it that he is a Warrior deck builder next to KitKats. He was innovating a lot with regards to Warrior. Right now, he's so confident in his play that he basically left. So he is not even sitting. He doesn't consider Mage a threat, I believe. What do you think about that?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that. Because Mage is always a threat. It can always just get insane starts all the time. Especially with this Snow Chugger double Neutron opening. It can actually get very threatening.
All right, so there's a couple of questions. What to play this turn? Is Tides of Time going to return in time before he's getting roped? If he ropes, will it strongly influence the match? What is RDU thinking?
Okay, I think he just got a Hot Pocket or something. But yeah, he quickly comes back, equips the Fire War Axe and attacks end of the turn. RDU's probably like, you took that long to make that play, really? But, oh my god.
Well, this is one of the ways to confuse your opponent, that's for sure. Oh, Mech Warper, by the way, that's a pretty nice card to get, especially protected by a Neutron.
Yeah, especially just having so many mechs in your hand. I think the Mech Warper is almost guaranteed to survive, unless like a Whirlwind is drawn.
Yeah.
And then like just so many, like all the mechs will come down in the next turn almost.
You do have to be worried about Brawl, right? Maybe Brawl will not hit you on 4, but then on 5. So, on the other hand, you also do not have a way to deal with the Acolyte of Pain in one hit. Like you don't want to give Warrior cards.
Yeah, there's actually no way to deal with that Acolyte efficiently. I think though at this point you can't play around Brawl because
There is the first Volcanic Drake.
Brawl because you have so many minions in your hand, but they're all rather weak minions that don't do too much damage. So you just have to hope that these minions can add up over time and your opponent doesn't have the Brawl.
Oh, and there is the Brawl. So it might be devastating. Brawl into Volcanic Drake on 5. This is going to happen. Monk, this is actually possible.
That's pretty sick. And you know what? That might be a tell. Armoring up, not using this charge of Fire War Axe. RDU definitely looks very confused.
Kevin, are you seriously saying that not using Fire War Axe is a tell that there is a Volcanic Drake in hand?
Well, it's at least a tell that there's a Brawl in the hand, right?
I can fix anything.
Oh my god.
Oh. Okay, so one of those minions is going to survive, so Volcanic Drake is still going to cost 4. No, like 5. No, wait, 1, I mean.
It'll cost 1, so it's
It was called,
quite
it will
unfortunate.
cost 1.
He won't get to play it. But yeah, that's probably like the best Brawl he's ever gonna get in this game. What survives?
Annoyatron. And he gets Mirror Entity. This is so bad for RDU. He's out of options, out of steam with a single mech. Something like a Blast Mage here would be amazing, but he didn't get it. Harrison Jones is perfect counter for Blinktron if RDU plays one. I don't believe so.
Yeah, if Tides of Time ever faces Hyped, I guess he'll have a counter to that Blinktron.
True. Tides of Time can just relax now, just eat his sandwich, you know. Tides boys. RDU needs Dr. Boom. Maybe not this turn, but Pyro Shooter is nice. Drawing into Boom on 7 will be good. And there is still that Mirror Entity, which might be annoying because there is actually no small minion.
Yeah, but you know what? He can just execute something on the later turn, and that's still pretty good.
Oh, he's getting
drawing
a
into
Shield
shields.
Slam.
Yeah, even if he plays like an Emperor Thorzan, for example, he can just use in a later turn. He can use the Death Spite, the second charge of the Death Spite rather, and then execute whatever minion that he plays. So I definitely expect that to be coming down in a future turn.
And now he also denied the mech. There is a Water Elemental for RDU. So there is a possibility of Blinktron. With Water Elementals,
Yeah, definitely true. But it might just be a tech against Warriors and the Hunters that we see a lot these days. That would certainly make sense.
so there is another Shield Slam, but not enough armor. Mirror Entity is still the thing. He can't really attack, so a pretty good Frostbolt from RDU, but he's out of cards and out of options.
You can consider overwriting this Death Spite and then executing here.
Yeah, I think it's actually fine.
You can also
Shield Slam execute.
okay, that's interesting.
Well, you make Death Spite will be online next turn. So instead of losing it, you're just spending Shield Slam instead.
Yeah, you also have an answer to BGH anyway, or you have the answer of BGH to your opponent's Dr. Boom, and with Archmage Antinitis probably isn't that threatening anyway.
Oh, he goes for BGH now. So if RDU picks up Dr. Boom, that would be an amazing card. He gets a Frostbolt though. Tough. It's
So
like,
once again, do you Frostbolt the face?
I don't think there is a reason now. Because if you get Antonidas, you will want to have that Frostbolt. You need it. And if you Frostbolt now, it doesn't achieve much.
Yeah, it's a great point.
Oh wow, there is a Dragon Hand, so Blackwing Raptor. This looks really tough for RDU. Great for Tides. Wow, a second Mirror Entity Monk. RDU is getting the worst possible draws here.
Oh wow, is he gonna play the control game at this point? I guess yes he is.
Not much he can do, and Tides can just go for Torison. He can play whatever and attack into... Well, alright, not Chromagus. But whatever he wants and then kill it with Death Spite.
Oh,
And
you know what?
RDU
This is pretty cool because you can play Harrison, kill his opponent's Harrison, and then play Volcanic Drake.
Wow, yep. We're going to see that Drake here. RDU needs Dr. Boom right now. And he gets it.
Well, you just called it there.
Yeah, I did. So do you ping your own bomb to kill Volcanic Drake? He goes for it, I believe.
Certainly a possibility.
Oh, well,
Not enough.
that was correct, but not successful. So now the only threat left for RDU, possibly, is Antonidas. Maybe he's running Ragnaros. Maybe he's running that Blinktron.
So, the real question here is, how many cards does Tides of Time want? And which card does he want double of? Something like double Shield Maiden, double Shield Block would just be insane. To be honest, like anything.
Double Nefarian is pretty good.
Of course.
You play Nefarian. Do you actually get the... Oh, Revenge. Also,
Oh my
it's
god,
12
2
health.
revenges. Okay,
That's a lot of revenge from Tides. casting Tides after Ties is so difficult.
Oh, you can just say the same thing after every game. I guess that's what I do.
Kind of. You know what? We might actually end up with a Ties. No, wait. Hyped won.
Ties.
So Ties got eliminated. Okay.
Exactly.
Ties
so, yeah,
versus Tides final would be the most amazing and annoying thing at the same time.
I'm sure it'll happen sometime. I don't think it actually has happened in a tournament yet, but eventually. You know.
Alright, so here Tides of Time just extending his lead. RDU with a simple reversing switch. If he will not be able to use reversing switch as let's say Tides of Time is going to win, and then RDU is going to use reversing switch to switch the game state so that he won instead of Tides. If it doesn't work that way, then I don't see a good chance for him to win.
Yeah, and unfortunately for RDU, he goes down yet again to one of Tides of Time's signature decks that he built specifically for this tournament.
That's true. So right now, Tides of Time has a Volcanic Drake Hunter, which is kind of like a mid-range hunter, left in his arsenal. Then RDU still has his Mage and two other decks, which is the Aggro Paladin, and the third one is, I believe, the mid-range hunter, or like the hybrid mid-range. So still fighting with that Mage, trying to get that one win with the deck. Eventually, he has to win at least one game. Who do you think is an edge here? Mage or the mid-range hybrid hunter with Volcanic Drakes?
Oh, to be honest, I have no idea. Like the Volcanic Drakes, I'm not sure what it adds, to be honest. I guess it doesn't really combo well with the Explosive Trap, so it's basically the Unleash the Hounds, right? I guess that's kind of a combo.
Unleash the Hounds or like Hunter Creepers.
Yeah.
Basically,
But
whenever...
I would say that like the Volcanic Drakes, they don't seem to be that good against the Mage because, like, I guess they can just kill it off very easily with a simple Frostbolt plus Ping.
Yeah, but then again, that's you know, if you play it cheaply, let's say for 3 mana, 6/4, and then you force Mage to do something with it, it might be troublesome. Here, double Eagle Horbo. The problem that Tides of Time is facing now that he knows the mirror entity is somewhere there because of the Mad Scientist. So if he kills this Mad Scientist, he won't be able to play Powder to Shredder next turn.
Oh wow, very heads-up play here. He's setting up for the Explosive Trap. And it's going to certainly be like one of the best Explosive Traps I've ever seen. Not only does the Explosive Trap pretty much kill all these minions, but also RDU is not it's not going to get value off this mirror entity, or off this Mad Scientist. Only one secret will be gotten from RDU.
Yeah, that's true.
And not only that, Tides of Time draws into Unleash the Hounds, so it's yet another answer to the mass minions that RDU might have.
So if RDU decides not to attack here, is there any reason not to attack? Like, there are no buffs in this deck. So you have to attack. Alright, he procs the Explosive Trap. Tides of Time gets one more durability in the weapon.
Yeah, but now he has Freezing Trap.
Yeah.
Look at that.
This is looking ugly, and Alamo Companion if he wants to, but he doesn't have to. He can just get the Freezing Trap right there.
Oh my god, everything's going so poorly for RDU. It's just a perfect storm of things going badly for him.
There is a Blast Mage and some mechs. If he plays a minion, the minion is just going to die to the weapon attack.
Yeah, he can actually
a Hunter Creeper is actually going to get copied.
Exactly.
So he can go for Hunter Creeper, attack into Hunter Creeper, then Unleash.
Yeah, it seems like a really good play. You basically, like, your opponent isn't going to have any more minions after that to proc the Freezing Trap, so you basically lock that out. And oh, he's actually considering the Pilot Shredder here.
And that's developing the board quite nicely.
Yeah, so I think with this play, he's thinking, I want to get more value off the Unleash the Hounds in future turns, and he's certainly setting up for it.
Is he going to simulate a Snake Trap? What would be the move to show like, hey, I have a snake trap?
I don't know. I think this is almost certainly a freezing trap. You've kind of bluffed it, and I think RDU at this point is kind of convinced that it's a freezing trap.
Now he's certain, so Annoyatron into Blast Mage might be interesting. There is still the Spider the Shredder, a bit threatening. Oh wow, so he won't be able to kill the Pilot Shredder, he's just going for some board control. Unleash the Hounds.
Seems like a pretty good draw.
Yeah, with this he should be able to clear, or like almost clear. Unleash the Hounds first, kill the Annoyatron, then attack the 5/4 with the Pilot Shredder. Attack Water Elemental with one of the dogs. Kill commands, Water Elemental.
Imagine if Tides of Time gets Flame Tongue Totem or Direwolf Alpha off his Piloted Shredder.
Oh yeah, then
Pretty
he
amazing.
doesn't even have to kill commands. Or does he? Yeah, he will still have to.
Well, not with Flame Tongue Totem, but yeah, with Direwolf Alpha, he would also still need to do that. Oh, that's interesting.
He might also go for face because, you know, this is 6 points of damage here, plus 8 total. Then his opponent is at 10. And you possibly have 8 on board. Are you dead to Fireball, though?
Yeah, I don't like going for face here, mostly because there's a Water Elemental on the board. And you do have a lot of burst with your Ego and Horn Bow, but as long as the Water Elemental lives, we actually just don't have that burst. One dead card.
Yeah, that's true. Alright, you still go for face with one dog at least. There's a Fireball. So deny the beast, go for face, 1 damage. And then how much damage will RDU have next turn? 6 plus 6, 12. Not enough. He will need another Fireball. For Tides here, he can just slam the high main. Juggler high main, I think is fine.
Yeah,
and you can even
Juggler
attack
high
this.
main. I like just attacking one of the 1/1s that come off the Spectral Spider, or just like the Spectral or the Haunted Creeper itself, because that pretty much threatens the Lotheb with a 5/2 Armani Berserker, and it pretty much forces your opponent to either Fireball or Frostbolt it.
True, because he will not be able to play the Berserker and the Juggler at the same time using the ping. It's also possible that the knife will actually land there.
I think I would have attacked the Creeper if the Juggle hit the Creeper, and attacked one of the Spectral Spiders, I mean. But if you attack the Creeper now with your Berserker, you actually give your opponent more power.
Yeah. So maybe the correct sequence was attack into the 1/1, then play the Juggler and play the high main. Give yourself a bigger chance to hit one of the Spectral Spiders.
Yeah, I kind of like that a bit better.
But it's still alright. So now it will be Clockwork Gnome and Tinkertown Technician. Is he dead, though, if he goes for this?
Something needs tinkering?
Oh, Time Rewinder.
Not really doing much here for now, but maybe Time Rewinding Lotheb will have will make some sense. Alright, so you're staring at least 9-11 points of damage from if you kill the troll.
Yeah.
11 points of damage.
Yeah. If you kill the troll, I think you actually might trade your Lotheb into the Knife Juggler, because it's actually really hard for a Hunter to deal 1 damage to things, unless Tides of Time draws into Unleash the Hounds.
But going for face is also setting up lethal next turn, and you hope that there is nothing that kills you here. Alright, so Tides of Time has to trade. If he doesn't trade, he's dead.
Yeah, he has to make some pretty awkward trades as well, trading him the High Main into the Lotheb.
Then he's getting 2 knives as well. Oh, that was...
That was okay, I guess. Yeah, I think that ended up actually fairly well for him.
True.
Clears off most of the board.
Also, he has to clear the mech. Just to deny the Blast Mage, I believe. Unless he decides that there is not enough damage. Like, he needs to finish the game as fast as possible before the burn is being drawn. So what can mech do here? If there's a Blast Mage, there was one Blast Mage already. So maybe you are not playing around the second one.
Yeah, a second Fireball would be a win. Frostbolt would also be a win. So how much damage is on board? 6 damage. So Tides of Time will be looking at 11 damage on the next turn. So I actually do think you attack into the Clockwork Gnome, because attacking face actually wouldn't change anything. He would still need to draw into damage.
Oh wow, there is Dr. Boom. So now with 5 plus 6... Well, there's actually a ping as well. So let's say RDU pings the Leper Gnome. It's going down to 13. And there is 6-9, 4 damage missing.
I don't think pinging the Leper Gnome actually changes anything, because it's going to do 2 damage to you either way. I actually think maybe you actually reversing switch the Leper Gnome just to give it 1 less attack.
What do you think about pinging face then as well? Maybe pinging face makes sense.
Yeah, pinging face might also make sense, but you're basically, with pinging face, you're playing around.
What to do?
Yeah, I think pinging face is actually perfectly okay.
You try to give yourself a chance if the bombs are badly... like, with bad bombs, like, let's say one bomb hits face for 1, you will have lethal with the Fireball thing.
Yeah, I guess what... I guess ping the Leper Gnome... yeah, there's nothing he can do at this point. I guess ping the Leper Gnome he gave him better chance for bombs to hit something, and also give him, like, for example, if Tides of Time had, like, an Abusive Sergeant, he would have been able to clear the board, whereas if he didn't, then he wouldn't have been able to clear. I don't think it ended up mattering too much, to be honest, though. And RDU, he puts 1 game onto the scoreboard, and it's actually going to be a match.
Yeah, that's true. So Tide's still leading 2-1, but RDU is holding fast, and you know, he still has a chance, like winning versus Hunter 2 times. He still has aggro Paladin, and his last deck is what, like a Green Patron Warrior?
Yeah, I believe so. I definitely want to see this aggro Paladin versus this Volcanic Drake Hunter. It seems to be a fairly interesting matchup, I would say. But,
it's a Hunter. Midrange Hunter versus Midrange Hunter.
Yeah, no
but
warrior from Ark.
As you mentioned, Paladin versus the Volcanic Drake Hunter. I think it favors the Volcanic Drake Hunter. Paladin has a lot of minions that die really fast.
Yeah, it's true. Especially the type of Paladin that RDU is running with so many, I guess, weak minions like Abusive Sergeant and Argent Squire. Yeah,
that's absolutely true. So both players having decent hands. RDU having an amazing curve with Mad Scientist, Animal Companion, Powder Shredder. And Tides of Time just having the Juggler, Freezing Trap, and an Animal Companion as well. What do you think is key in this matchup? Are the traps key? Like having an Explosive Trap, or is it more about who's playing the first high main?
Yeah, a lot of it is about playing the first high main. But at the same time, if you play a high main into a board that has like 4 creatures and you're at low health, that's not going to matter. I think a lot of it is about getting board control. That's probably the most important part, not falling too far behind.
I certainly agree with that. So here there's a question. What do you do if you attack and you enable one of the traps? What traps do you have in your deck? We've seen Explosive Trap for sure. We're seeing Freezing Trap right now. Maybe. Do you want to set up a Freezing Trap to get that Mad Scientist? Or do you prefer to get see what trap you get and then play a minion or a trap?
I think the problem here is the thing is Tides is thinking he definitely wants a trap because especially a Freezing Trap, because if he doesn't get a trap, then if he plays Animal Companion and he rolls a Huffer, this Mad Scientist is going to get too good of a trade from RDU. But
All right, so he gets
traps
explosive
instead.
trap, sets up the freezing.
So I wonder what trap this is. It's gonna be, oh wow, snake trap.
Snake trap.
So all three main hunter traps we're gonna see in this game.
No snipe. No snipe.
You know, snipe I've actually seen in tournament play recently, and a lot of via game qualifiers. A lot of the players did use snipe, and those players actually got really far into the tournament.
Well, snipe is interesting. Depends on the meta game though. So here's just Animal Companion, and oh, Misha is actually amazing.
Yeah, it's certainly the best trap, I would say, but we do see a kill command.
You can do you risk Animal Companion to maybe buff your minions? Not really. Like you will still have to take damage there.
So here's the problem. Because RDU has a snake trap on his side of the board, it's going to be Tides of Time. It's up to Tides of Time to actually race his opponent down and never attack minions. But as I say that, there's a Unleash the Hounds in his hand. So if he goes something like Eagle Horn Bow and Web Spinner here into Knife Juggler Unleash, that could change the game entirely.
Yeah, that Unleash the Hounds was key because with the single snake trap, RDU had an advantage with all those minions. But right now, Tides has the means to counter that, especially after losing Explosive Trap before.
Yeah, so there's two options here. You can attack face if you think your opponent has Explosive Trap, or you can just hold and not attack anything if you think this trap is Snake Trap. You can kind of like hedge between the two, but this gives your opponent snakes this turn. And you're going to take more damage to your own face, but you know you're going to have a really good turn next turn.
Yeah. So do you think that Tides of Time was suspecting the snake trap here? He was probably going for like
I'm sure he's seen the VODs of the previous game and he knows like the possibilities of this is. Is it Leok? No.
No, it's not. Misha. So Leok will be +5 damage. Misha is probably the worst. Oh man, we're going to see Juggler into Unleash.
Yeah, certainly not Captain's Parrot. Oh my god.
Drake.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's no way this Volcanic Drake is going to cost 0.
No, it's gonna cost like -3 mana.
Yeah, -3. All right, so I guess you do Unleash here before you get the rope. Knives and the dogs spawning will take a lot of time.
Yeah. I wonder what Tides of Time is thinking right now.
It's like, oh snap! I played the Golden Juggler instead of the normal one. That was a mistake.
Okay, yeah, that actually does make a lot of sense. Attacking before he goes for the Unleash just maximizes the knife hits.
Yeah, true. That was actually pretty smart.
Damage.
Alright, Monk. Dogs and knives. Dogs and knives. Nothing going in the face.
Oh, okay. You know what's funny is that if all the knives went to face, then the Volcanic Drake wouldn't be able to have been played because not 6 creatures would have died. So this was actually the best result for Tides of Time.
True. He has all the dogs. There's nothing to counter this. Just a small silence and Pilot the Shredder. And right now, how much damage is there on board? That's 13 points of damage. And that's +5. That's 18. Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Look at that.
Well,
yeah,
oh my
Pilot the Shredder can be ugly.
So perplexed. Oh my god. I don't even know what to say to this.
Well, you can only smile sheepishly.
On fire, Dibsh.
That was a wolf in sheep skin, man. It just exploded, so...
Yeah, even though RDU got the explosive sheep, I don't think it's still enough. He needed Unsable Ghoul here.
Yeah, I certainly agree. Even though RDU has the ultimate weapon of double Leper Gnome, the best possible hand you can have in Hearthstone, may still be not enough.
Isn't the best possible hand double Leper Gnome plus the guy that spawns Leper Gnomes?
No. Yeah. Thermoplug. All right, so Tides of Time is going to take game number 4 and test series as well, winning 3-1 versus RDU, eliminating him from the tournament. Again, with this crazy deck lineup. Monk, what is happening? How is he doing this?
It's pretty awesome. I mean, it's really interesting that the players that are bringing, I guess, the most interesting decks are making it to the semifinals. Of course, we had Tides of Time. We also had Hyped, who brought kind of a Dragon Warrior. So I guess the player, like the more dragons you play, the better you'll do in this tournament is the lesson.
I love it. I love it. It's like right now we will have Tides waiting for his next opponent, and the next match after this will be Strifecrow versus Trump. So either Strifecrow or Trump are going to face Tides of Time in the top 4, but we are not going to show it now. We're going to show it after a short break. Stay tuned, guys. We're going to be back soon.